Josh, I don't think anybody's wearing socks.
To all the people that are offended, I took my socks off for you right before the pod started.
Just so everybody knows, I do respect the feelings of our users.
Wanna make that paper, wanna make that now. This is the affiliate marketing show. Wanna make that paper, wanna make that now. This is
What up, everybody? It's Josh coming to you with another episode of the Affiliate Marketing Show. Please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest affiliate marketing news, tips, and trends. Per usual, Josh from OfferVault.com, the industry's largest and best aggregator of all things affiliate marketing. Whether you're looking to get work with other offers and networks, affiliate programs, we got you covered. OfferVault.com. A big thank you goes out to this episode's sponsor once again, Pinup Partners. And today we will be doing it in the voice of a baseball umpire / announcer. We'll see how ChatGPT did this. Attention, folks. Stepping up to the plate, we've got Pinup Partners, the ACE affiliate program and direct advertiser for Pinup iGaming products. Pinup Partners have a wide variety of geos swinging for the fences in CIS, Asia, and South America. They're covering all the bases with detailed stats per player and an impressive reg to dep rate of 33%. How do they do it? Well, I'll tell you, folks, I'm glad you asked. With an easy registration funnel, local payment methods, and local licenses in select geos, making it a home run every time. Affiliates, it's your chance to hit it out of the park by working with Pinup Partners. Get your glove on and sign up today through the link in the description. And that's the call. Let's play ball. ChatGPT, really weird ending. I read it when I did it, and I said I was going to do it anyways.
This is the type of ad read that makes me want this to be a strictly audio, non-video pod. I am ashamed to look people in the eyes right now.
Look,
Well-
for anyone listening, we vet all our advertisers, and simply put, Pinup Partners is just great. So
Yeah.
I don't know why we need to tarnish their brand.
I'm
with
sorry.
That kind of.
All right.
Send me
For
a
anyone
shirt, I'll
that's
wear it.
for anyone that's watched the show, they're mad when I do the sketch. They're mad when I don't do the sketch. I think they just like to be mad at me. But the two gentlemen you just saw, Daddy Callbucks, Adam Young, hashtag It's a Call Track Life, as well as the industry legend Harrison Gevirtz. And today, we're just going full Ringba, baby. You can never have too much Ringba. You know that saying, too much of one thing is not good. Well, that doesn't work with Ringba. You always want more of Ringba. We have Jenny Parrish, Executive Vice President of Growth at Ringba and General Manager of the Programmatic exchange, Ringba X. And for any of you that have been living under a rock, okay, which is nobody that watches this show, Ringba is the industry-leading technology when it comes to call tracking and the first place you should go when you're looking to set up tracking for your inbound call program. What's up, Jenny? How we doing?
Hey, Josh. Amazing intro. Regardless if they love it or hate it, that was phenomenal. Just
I was going to say the
hats
Ringba
off
one
to
was
that.
better than the sponsored read.
Yeah, I like the
Sorry,
Ringba.
guys.
I'm feeling it. No, it's going well. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on the show. Definitely want to get your perspective on a few different things related to your time in the industry as well as working with Ringba. I'm curious, briefly, how did you kind of get started in the internet marketing space? And then we'll kind of transition that into your time with Ringba.
Sure, absolutely. So I'm certainly dating myself, but 22 years celebrating in the performance marketing industry. I actually got my start with my sister. She had started at a boutique agency, and she said, you need to leave the medical industry. I was assisting the chief pharmaceutical officer, and it was a quite different industry. And she pulled me into the affiliate space, and I haven't really looked back since. And so it's been quite the ride. I've worked with such an array of different customers and clients. Billions in transactional value has been created with all the different partnerships I've been a part of. It's been a wild ride, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
curious. How did you meet Adam and Harrison? And then we'll talk about what it's like working with them. Okay. But
Sure.
first, how did you How'd you get introduced to them? Because I know they speak very highly of you. So I'm curious what your first impression was and where that was.
Sure. Well, I won't give too much into the transparency, but Harrison is actually, I think I definitely have known him more than half his life.
Jeez.
So
Yeah.
Harrison was actually an affiliate partner. I run an affiliate network for many, many years. And he was a very young, enthusiastic kid that was coming to the trade shows, very bullish, very smart. And honestly, we kind of hit it off right away. I took him under my wing to kind of gravitate towards things that would be, fruitful for
You
his.
told me to not send dog shit quality.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just
I
gotta
was trying
say,
to
it's
guide
cool.
him towards the light. But no, I mean, Harrison, I've known for a really long time. He's just such a good kid and a good person, and he's developed into an incredible business person. And I met Adam through Harrison. And it really started with a conversation where Adam's like, "Are we ready to take over the world?" And that was my first impression of Adam. And so it's
I think that's everybody's first impression of Adam, to be fair.
I'll take it.
yeah, definitely.
Well, that's actually a good transition. I was going to ask, are the rumors true, from your position at Ringba, that Ringba really is taking over the world? Like, would you agree with that?
I mean, slowly but surely. It's really if it's one vertical, one industry at a time. I think that we have certainly demonstrated our dominance in the industry. And I think that's honestly because of the innovation. These guys are constantly looking at what is next, what can we do better, how can we push ourselves. And it's truly the first time that I've been a part of something that is this innovative. I think that previously being part of an affiliate network or an agency or a media buying house, you're kind of doing what others are doing. But at Ringba, this is really where innovation is born and fostered, and it's been a breath of fresh air.
So, what's it like working with Adam and Harrison? So, and I mean that
Don't
in the
forget,
sense,
I've been to North Korea.
We'll have life-size sculptures of us delivered to your front yard.
Just
Oh
to
I,
set
my
uh,
gosh,
expectations.
I love
I,
it.
I asked that question in the light of like, what leadership qualities do you see them putting on display regularly that you kind of incorporate into your own leadership qualities with the people that you work with on teams at Ringbo as well?
Yeah, for sure. I think that Adam and Harrison's secret superpower is finding talent, honestly. That's one thing that I really cannot stack against any other team I've been with. No disrespect to any of the teams I've been a part of in my past, but truly the best group of humans I've ever been able to work with, the smartest group that I've ever been able to work with. And I think that the way that they foster our culture, it's a very open door policy. And I think that it just allows us to all really be motivated by serving the customers and honestly serving each other. We want to succeed. We want to help each other. And they very much lead by example in that degree. If we need them, we can go to them. But they also foster autonomy. They want us to stand on our own 2 feet. They want us to make mistakes, figure it out. And, I think that it's just part of their nature to just really want to be the best and the brightest, and they attract that type of talent. I truly love the people that I work with every single day, from, our business development team to the folks behind the scenes. I mean, I would have dinner with any single one of them. They're just great, fantastic people. And I think the other thing that Adam and Harrison have really demonstrated is the customer first mentality, the strength within branding, not only just for the company, but for themselves. I think that they're really an exciting way of showing how technology, marketing, and branding can come together to create really a lead in the marketplace where, other Goliath type companies have tried. But I think that Ringba is really carving a niche, and they are, at the forefront of all of it.
Josh, I think something Jenny said there, which was the first thing she said, is by far the most important. And that is, we work with a really amazing group of people at Ringba. And when we think about the people we want to bring on our team, we talk about a lot, how do we find people that are so good at what they do or have such great experience that we learn from them? And to bring people on and to have the willingness to trust them because you understand that they're really amazing at what they do and you kind of have to give up control is very hard for an entrepreneur to do. Like, we like to be in the weeds, it's in our nature. But when you find really incredible people and you let them do what they do best, you can generally get some really amazing results. And so, I mean, I love the things Jenny said about our leadership style and us or whatever, but the reality is Ringba is successful because of the team.
Exactly.
And generally, Harrison and I will lean on team members to help us make decisions, and we learn from them. And, I've called Jenny many times on things. And I think that open door policy, the transparency between people on our team, allows everyone to help each other and communicate, even when things are difficult, knowing that, like, we aren't going to punish mistakes. And, like, we understand that things are going to happen and we're going to work through them together. And so, there's never really an argument or any fighting at Ringba or any yelling or any sort of toxic behavior. It's really just a group of super intelligent people working together, and they surprise me every single day. Like, leading Ringba is an exercise in humility on a daily basis. And so that's a really cool thing.
I'll add one more thing too. And I know that diversification is such a buzzword in corporate America, but I really think that it's part of the success that we have from a talent perspective too. I mean, folks from LA and New York and Florida, but also Amsterdam, Brazil, and India. And I feel like all the cultures coming together, I don't know, it just demonstrates such a strong human bond between all of us. I think that we can see the similarities and what we're trying to achieve and the way that we all work together so well. But it's, one from a technical perspective too, the most females that I've ever worked with, and that is phenomenal. And so I think that diversification has also lent a hand in the success and how this talent has just cultivated an incredible path forward, with Adam and Harrison at the lead here.
It's funny how that works, Jenny. Like, we recruit for the smartest, most talented people we can. And then ultimately the outcome of that policy is you get this incredible, well-rounded group of different people. And then they offer so many different amazing perspectives. That it just ends up being really great for our customers and how we build things. And so
I totally agree.
So, Jenny, I want to ask you a question about, your title specifically. I think, people
Sure.
do a lot more than what their titles are, right? But, I know you've spent a lot of time in growth, biz dev, partnerships, stuff like that. And this is something I always love talking about, having been incorporated in that aspect of different businesses myself. But, I feel like it's hard to really define like what successful growth or partnership building looks like. So I'm curious, can you tell us a little bit about how you approach developing and implementing new partnerships at Ringba, the different types of partnerships you focus on, and how you kind of measure, how well you're doing, that essentially?
Sure, it's a great question. When it comes to partnerships, when I first started out, I said I never want to do sales. I'm not a salesperson. I don't want to sell. And so
is that actually true?
Jenny
It
could
is
sell
true.
me this pen.
I know, she's like one of the most incredible salespeople I've ever met in my life. I'm calling
This-
bullshit. What?
No, this is true. So my very first job, I was an AR clerk and I was collecting money for the agency that we were
Wow.
trying to get going on. And the CEO's like, you'd be amazing at sales. And I'm like, I don't want to sell. I don't like sales. And I obviously cultivated that into a 22-year career so far. And so I think the way that I've kind of done my mind shift is instead of selling, I approach everything in a partnership lens. I want to be whomever I am, really trying to advance a partnership with. I want to understand that I can be their problem solver. I'm not here to sell them anything. No one wants to be sold to, whether it's you, me, or the next person. And so I think that when you're thinking about partnerships, one is instead of thinking about it as sales, think about it as partnerships. You want to really entrench yourself into the customer's business. If you want to advance and really get into the trenches with them and have longevity in a partnership, that's really where it begins, is understanding and putting yourself in their shoes. So that's one type of partnership that, I've advanced here. In addition to that, strategic partnerships, technical partnerships, even when you think about those that are out there trying to raise capital for their business and advancements, those are all different types of partnerships that I've been fortunate enough to be a part of. And so when I think about developing and implementing new partnerships at Ringba, I really start with clearly defining the objectives and the criteria, right? Ringba, we are very much customer first. So when I'm evaluating partnerships, I say, okay, how is this going to make our customers' lives easier? How is this going to advance their business? How is this going to be complementary to what we're doing? And so it's clearly defining the objectives, the criteria. It's identifying the strategic value alignment. I think the most successful partnerships are ones that are synergistic. They think about the strategy. How can our business be complementary to yours? In addition to that, developing a solid integration plan. Many of our partnerships do take technical integrations. What does that entail? How much can we carve the work between each other to make that a positive experience? Dev resources are always something that's a hot commodity in any business. And so we have to have justification of the impact that is going to have from a partnership perspective. And I typically overinvest in communication. I think that, standing calls with partnerships is something that I've implemented and has been highly successful to keep us, on schedule, to make sure that we're executing to the expectations that we outlined. In addition to that, making sure that we're agile with how we're approaching a partnerships. So whether it's someone that is looking for acquisition and new customers, or if it's a partnership that is looking to align with our, customer values and what we're doing today and how they can be complementary to the businesses that we serve, I'm going to approach them slightly differently, but also a lot of it's going to have the core values of defining strategy, integrations, and communicating on a regular basis so we can adopt a long-term mindset.
Hold on a second, Josh. Something I want to touch on there, because Jenny executes a lot of our partner initiatives, and a lot of the conversations we have, and Harrison and I have, and Harrison and Jenny have, all of us have, is the partner a good fit in the first place? And I think a lot of companies, when they're small, they go, I need to partner with everybody, right? Like, how do I partner with everybody and try and get as much exposure as possible? But in reality, that type of strategy doesn't work very well. And instead, picking the right partners and then being willing to say no to most opportunities so you can focus on the best ones, I think has also really helped us be very successful. And so, like, if you're going to try and partner with everybody, you can't have standing calls with everybody. You can't invest dev resources with everybody. Like, you can't deliver on your promises. And so, like, picking the right strategic partners is super, super important. And we spend a lot of our time, in fact, the majority of partnership requests we say no to, because we don't think that we can invest in the partnership, or maybe it's not a good fit for our customers, or maybe it's just going to take too many development resources. And what's interesting about that is we generally don't accept any revenue for our partnerships. We're not looking for rev shares.
Referral fees do not, turn the needle, spin the whatever. They don't lure us into the direction of an integration or a partnership.
Yeah.
I think I can speak for all of us. We get approached by many different types of, providers, companies, whatever you want to call it, looking
Constantly.
for integrations and stuff. And I'll just give everyone a little piece of advice. Don't ask us. Your clients should be asking us. If you actually want something to potentially happen, like, don't pitch us on why you got the bee's knees. Like,
Convince our customers to buy your products and services and
Exactly.
then come ask us.
I can say literally in the last week, I've had a couple, and one of them, I'm sorry, Jenny, I just told to contact you. So I was like, she'll enjoy saying no to this one.
I
So
think
how do you
that's so
guys-
important though, right? Like as a customer-focused organization, saying no, it's like not our job to grow someone else's business, but if they create something amazing that our customers want, we have a bunch of partnerships and integrations, like we want to focus on those that move the needle for our customers. And so this is a very customer-focused decision-making process. So we want to like find the best companies to partner with that help our clients grow the most and then invest more into a much smaller number of partnerships, and that's been
Is
really
that the-
successful for us.
Is that the main checkbox? Because I was going to ask, like, how do you determine which partnerships are the right partnerships? Is it really just?
I would say it is, because if you have something cool, then our clients should be asking for us to integrate it. And if what you have is so awesome, but 0 customers have expressed interest, we're not, going to be the platform to grow your business.
Yeah.
Just to be completely blunt, like our job is to serve our customers, and our job is not to promote your thing to our customers. Unless you want to advertise on the podcast, then email josh@offervault.com and give us money. I will wear a tank top or whatever you want.
Speaking of,
Pay
shout
enough, I
out,
will
shout
wear a
out,
tank top.
shout out to Pinup Partners. You guys
Yes.
are awesome. Great company. Sorry for my introduction. I'll work on it next week.
But if on a Ringba side, that's the way. Ringba is not a marketing platform. This isn't like, how Salesforce has an ecosystem. No,
Yeah, we don't.
That's not the same thing. So,
Yeah, exactly. And I think if you accept referral fees for partnerships, what happens is you start to have your team, you are incentivized to drive customers to them. So obviously I understand why they want to do it, but for us, we don't want to cloud the decision making towards what's in the best interest of our customer and like how do they succeed the most. And so we just don't simply do that. And since we're on this topic, Harrison, I'll give one pro tip. This one's my favorite. When someone emails me, and this happens generally once a
I
week,
know it's gonna come out here.
and it's like, hey, Adam, a bunch of our mutual customers have been talking to us and want us to do an integration together. And so we need to figure out how to do that. Now, I bet you can guess what my reply is.
Which customers?
Which customers? 99% of the time, they say some stupid shit like, oh, we're under NDA. We can't tell you who it is. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, then we're
They
done
can hit
here.
us up.
Yeah, they can hit us up. That's fine. They can tell us, right? And so the response is, well, great. Have our customers hit us up. And,
see
if
what we can
enough
do.
of them do, then we'll consider the opportunity. But I think whenever you're trying to create a partnership, and I'm pretty sure Jenny's going to agree with me here, but we'll double check. Lying in the first email, not the best way to do it.
Yeah, no, not good. I've been pitched everything possible. Everything from this is going to be lucrative, it's going to be a new revenue stream for you guys, to we have, a laundry list of clients that are requesting this. They couldn't give me one name. So yes, we've kind of heard it all in regards to the partnerships. And so that's why when you're determining which companies, it really existing partnerships that make sense for our customers. I know that, some of our more public, partnerships out there, like an Everflow, Taboola, Volume, those have been really fruitful because of a lot of our customers have mutual interest in those products as well. So it's synergistic. It makes sense for us to invest in those partnerships. They're very complementary businesses to what Ringba really specializes in, and we can quantify it to say, hey, a large amount of our customers are looking for this, and so we can prioritize it and make sure that this is the right step for us to do in regards to partnerships and strengthening that. And so I think it definitely starts with our customer base and the demand there. In addition to that, we want to see that customer, that partnership has that customer base. They have the reach. They have also an impeccable reputation. We want to only be affiliated and associated with companies that have a strong reputation like Ringba, and they are like-minded in regards to how they treat their customers. Their culture is very similar in regards to putting that customer first and making sure that they have a respectful and thoughtful type of, aura in regards to how they're seen within the industry and in the marketplace. those are the type of partnerships that make sense for us. And again, we're going to think, is this going to advance the businesses of our customers? Then that's what really gets exciting for us, especially if there is a big demand. And that's how we prioritize it, because we do get quite a few different types of organizations that are trying to advance their own businesses. They think that they're going to be the next thing that's going to be revolutionary in conjunction with our technology. But honestly, they have to prove it. They need to have proof of concept. We're not going to be this, guinea pig type of platform where we're going to see if your stuff is going to advance and make our customers in a better position. We certainly don't want to do that, and we're not going to experiment with our customer base. And so it really has to be, the proof is in the pudding kind of thing.
So Jenny, I'm not letting you off the hook this easy. I'm going back to a question I asked earlier. How do you like quantify growth, right? I think that's a question a lot of people who are in that role struggle with. So like, is it a combination of the bottom line or the overall, vibe of the company, or what Adam and Harrison are saying to you, or a little bit of everything? Because I've had a hard time, figuring out that for myself over the years. So I'm curious what your take on it is.
For sure. Look, financial metrics are always going to be at the core of growth and measuring that. I like to say that we can't feed our kids off revenue. And so profitability is the most important thing when it comes to financial metrics. But there's other things that I look at for Ringba. Customer metrics, is what's our customer retention and churn looking like? Is there revenue expansion within existing customers? Customer satisfaction. When we have dozens of customers walking up to our booth, stopping me and saying, you are part of a great company. I'm getting direct feedback from our customer base, and I want to see that expand. So customer metrics are really important too. I think also understanding that there's growth within new markets. I'm part of quite a few different councils. One of them I'm a part of is kind of in the performance television space. That is a footprint that we're looking to establish in, and now more and more of involvement in those type of new and niche type of sectors. I see that we're now a recognizable name. And so that's a measurement of growth. We're making and penetrating these industries that never knew us a year or two ago, and now they're a name that they're thinking about first when it comes to call tracking, analytics, RTB, and so those are the different types of metric that I look at in addition to financial. How are we making an impact? How are we really expanding into other categories? And also, I think that seeing the visibility across all of our, different podcasts, book performances, are we having different webinars, fireside chats? I think it's really important from a leadership standpoint that we're involved. We're also seeing, our viewership go up. We're seeing the interaction with us, our personalities, in addition to the brand. And so there's definitely a lot of ways that you can expand beyond financial metrics in regards to how it's going to look like. Are you really continuing to be the market leader? What's your category share? What's your market growth? I think all of those things are components of how you measure growth. And it's not just going to be dollars and cents, which of course typically are the most important, but there's other ways that you can quantify it and see how many more, companies, brands, buyers, agencies know our name today that didn't know it a year or two ago.
And eventually those become opportunities. And so it's hard, Josh. The most productive things we've done weren't based on whether or not we were going to see numbers immediately from them. And that's really a hard thing to do as an entrepreneur or even someone in partnerships, is to look at some opportunities and just sort of have the resolve to go, this is kind of a silly idea, but I think it could work. And then to just do it, and at sometimes great expense, just to see how the cards fall. And it's really a departure from advertising that Harrison and I are typically used to, right? We were affiliates for a long time. Everything was about stats and metrics and numbers. And we've had to rethink our mindset around that. And some of our best campaigns you can't really track. I mean, I'm really excited about the book campaign. It's doing well. We have seen results from it. But like the overall impact will take 5 years to truly understand and, it was expensive to do, still is, but I know it will be worth it because I understand what we're doing here. And one of the questions I like to ask when making a decision like that, I like to ask myself is this decision in the best interest of our customers, the best interest of our team, and is it going to improve the numbers? And if I make this decision, does that apply today and in the future? And so if it's in the best interest of our customers, it's in the best interest of our team members, it's going to move the needle on the numbers up, and could potentially see results today and will most likely see results in the future, then that's the type of idea or partnership or action we want to take, even if it can be a little bit scary at times. I mean, a lot of the partnerships we've done, we don't necessarily know how it's going to play out or what the overall impact and rewards are. So we don't really think about the numbers. I mean, like with Taboola, Harrison and I worked with them as affiliates. Jenny and
publisher even
yeah,
once.
we were
We've done well.
publishers once. Jenny has worked with tons of people there over the years, and we're like, all right, well, Taboola is a great company. We're a complementary fit here. They have a lot of mutual customers. How are we going to do the partnership? How can we make impact? And we don't necessarily always know at the beginning, but we do it anyways, and we invest the resources, and then we really don't even track the results once we get the ball rolling at first, because we know it's going to be a long-term partnership. We're going to change things over time until we figure out what works and what actually causes results. And that's why it's really important to be selective with your partnerships, because it takes time to make them work. It takes time and investment to get them moving and get people excited about it and get people to understand what's going on. So it's really the long game. And if you think too much about the money, it doesn't really work. And that's why being selective is important.
Jenny, I want to ask you about the programmatic exchange Ringba X. And just to give you a backstory, before it was out, it was mentioned on the show. We had to bleep it because we didn't want it getting out. Then it was out, and we had a little brief synopsis of where it was at the beginning stages. I'm curious, can you kind of break down, like, once again, what is it, where is it now, and where do you kind of see it going in the future?
Sure. So Ringba X is a live inbound call marketplace. It's really where we have brought in Ringba sellers and have, tons of buyers across various categories and verticals where they are getting live bids for that inbound call. We saw the need in the ecosystem for this particular product. And so I think where it is today is, we are growing every single month. We are starting to, I think, further define our processes and really honing in on the categories that we want to really focus in and grow within. I think that there is going to be a very conscious shift towards this type of model. I think that where it's going to be in the future is it's going to create consolidation, I think, for buyers. I've had many, conversations around how, these big Fortune 500 companies, the barrier to entry is very difficult, and it equally frustrates them as it does their partners. And so I've had organizations come to me and say, the exchange is exactly what we need to consolidate partners, and where we can have you guys take on the compliance process and really have one place where we can do our acquisition, and we don't necessarily have to do it on an individual basis. There's a lot of maintenance in running your own program. And so the exchange is going to be the answer for those that are looking for that one place where the highest type of quality and volume when it comes to inbound calls, because that's where it lives with the Ringba sellers, is going to be pouring into their acquisition programs. So I see one, definite consolidation for buyers. And two, I think that we're going to one day start to see that native integration between Ringba and the Ringba X platform. We are going to consciously go towards making this as easy as possible for our sellers to interact with the buyers that we're cultivating in the exchange marketplace, and making sure that calls aren't going unsold. And if your, partners have concurrency issues, budget issues, that's where the exchange is really going to shine to be able to fill those gaps and holes that we have, all diligently worked towards filling to ensure that we are maximizing, again, everything that our customers are doing and the buyer demand that is there.
I can't, agree more. I think that one of the huge value adds for the sell side or for publishers is the fact that, I don't care how good you are or how big your business is and how many buyers you bring on board. There's always going to be calls that go unsold. And X really, the goal is to provide a place to sell those calls that otherwise would have gone nowhere to, improve your bottom line.
And the reality is that all of our customers, I mean, if we look at our platform as a whole, I'm not going to give specifics, but it's a double-digit percentage of all calls that drop. And the reality is that most of our sell-side customers are media buyers, and so they have a sunk cost into those calls. And when the calls drop and hit the floor, they just lose all the money. And so X is a really cool thing for that, because if you want to work with some of these big companies, it can be almost impossible to do it. For instance, we have some customers that I talk to their teams and they're like, yeah, we would love more partners, but legal is so challenging that we aren't even accepting them, because it generally takes us 6 months to onboard someone and it's so much work. And then when something immediately doesn't happen for them, it becomes a problem. And so they're just like, don't want to deal with it. Or there's some really incredible smaller media buying houses or publisher houses, maybe a team of 10 or less, that doesn't have really amazing legal capabilities or the ability to go negotiate a 62-page contract with a Fortune 500 company to get allocation. And so we have a lot of those skills baked into our organization. And I think these big companies recognize that it would be much easier to deal with people who are experts in the space than try and manage 50, 100 different partners. And so the cool thing about X is it centralizes that management. It allows big buyers to tap our ecosystem, and it allows sellers to essentially immediately integrate with a wide assortment of campaign types, as long as they're approved and meet the criteria and follow the processes. So, and then it's all automated by technology. So the exchange is entirely programmatic, Josh. Machine makes all the trading decisions and the margin pricing decisions and all these things. And so as it grows over time, our technology will actually allow us to optimize better outcomes for our customers in various situations so they can make more money. And at the end of the day, it's about making our customers as much money as humanly possible and helping them grow their business, which is our mission. And this technology and product offering, I think, will have a huge impact over time on our customer base. Also, you have to be a Ringba customer to sell to the exchange. And so if you
Denying those applications is pretty fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Like if you don't do business with us, if you're not using our technology and we don't really understand your business and we're not helping you grow, like we don't let people sell to the exchange that don't use our platform. And so this provides a significant competitive advantage to our customers that are in this line of business versus working with any other company in this space. They basically not only get Ringba and the technology, but they get to leverage essentially our business development and legal capabilities as well for opportunities that they may not be able to get on their own. So I'm super excited about it. Still technically beta, but we're making a ton of progress. Yeah, and I see a really bright future here.
Jenny, I got one last question for you before we let you get out of here today. Let's say I'm brand new to internet marketing. I watched the affiliate marketing show. I've read, The Paper Call Revolution by best-selling author Adam Young. See what I did there? And I know paper call is where I want to be. Okay, so I'm curious, like, what is your advice and some first steps you would recommend in terms of setting up my own inbound call program?
Step one, get Ringba. Obviously, of course. No, I think that yes, definitely you're going to want the best technology and that's really going to be Ringba. But other advice I would say is understanding the regulations. I think that, paper call can be highly regulated, and those industries that you want to tap into can have nuances that you're going to want to really understand. It's going to allow for longevity for your business. It's also going to help you understand risk assessment, which is very important for any business. I think choosing the verticals very carefully. You want to make sure that you are aligning yourself with things that, one, you can grow a buyer network in, two, that will hopefully be evergreen. It's not going to be something that's going to be, here today and gone tomorrow. I think that it's really important to also understand how to build a clear offer and call flow. Embracing technology as much as possible when it comes to optimizing and ensuring that you have some monitoring in regards to the compliance of your calls. Also figuring out if you want to be a media buyer or if you're going to do this through publisher partnerships. You have to understand that you really need to understand and vet your partners really, really well if you're going to put your reputation on the line for some of these buyers that you're going to be exposing to third parties. I love third party calls. I really do, but you do need to be careful. You got to make sure that you know what you're doing and the partners that you're aligning with. You have to also make sure that you're testing and optimizing. Managing finances closely is also super important. You have to understand that is there, going to be billables that aren't going to be there at the end of the month? Is there going to be disputes? What's the dispute time frame? Make sure that you're dotting the I's and crossing the T's, because there's a lot of, details that you really need to pay attention to. And I always like to say the devil is in the details. So make sure that you're reading everything. Like Adam said, some of these contracts can be pretty gnarly. So make sure that you're actually paying attention to what you're signing and what you're getting into. And at the top of that list, I would say stay compliant. We have a lot of cowboys, especially in the affiliate marketing space, and being in that space for a long time. I've kind of seen it all. And if people put in as much effort into developing a real business and trying to present value propositions to the consumer that they're trying to acquire instead of, slippery tactics, I think that you're going to find that you're going to burn yourself out of the business really quick. So keep it clean, keep it on the up and up.
Don't turn and burn. Yeah.
Don't turn and burn. I think that will help you really lead into a healthy business and, really explode in the pay per call industry. So.
Well, Jenny, I want to thank you for coming on the Affiliate Marketing Show. We appreciate you having you on today. For myself, Josh from OfferVault.com, Daddy Callbucks, Adam Young, as well as the industry legend Harrison Gevirtz, and our special guest Jenny Parrish, EVP of Growth at Ringba and GM of the Programmatic Exchange, Ringba X. Let's make that paper. Let's make that dough. This was the Affiliate Marketing Show. We will see you all next time.